and kind of start fresh with a new season and kind of altogether new branding. Just like quickly, I don't really plan to like make my branding focused on being a podcast about my 20s. I think it's just going to be about my life, about me. I haven't really figured out how I'm going to market that yet, but what was 5 years of design school if not to be able to figure this out? So I'm sure I'll figure it out pretty soon. But in the meantime, I'm so happy to be back with season 2. And I don't want to make this intro super long because I know that this is going to be a long episode and we have like a good bit to talk about. So I'm just going to get right into it. We just celebrated my 25th birthday almost exactly a week ago. And it was a lot. If you didn't already know this, I'll just give like, because if you know me, you know this, but like just a recap for everyone. So my birthday was last Friday, July 28th. One of my grandmas was getting a form of open heart surgery on Friday on my birthday. She is fine. She's recovered. But so obviously that was like scary for everybody. And then my cousin actually had her baby, which is so cute. Her baby's perfect. And I haven't met her yet, but I'm very excited about that. But she ended up, I kind of thought she was probably going to have her baby on my birthday, which would have been cool. But she did not. She ended up having the baby at 3:30 in the morning Saturday, so just missed it by a few hours. And then Saturday, me and my friends went out for my birthday, like Saturday night. And that was really fun. Me, Tony, my brother, and my sister-in-law went out on Friday on my actual birthday, which was really good. And then Sunday, we just kind of had like a family party and had hibachi and stuffed shells. And yeah, I realize is a weird combination, but my grandma always makes some kind of like homemade pasta for like whatever your favorite is for your birthday. And then my brother wanted to make hibachi, so we just did both. And it actually was good together. Like it was fine. So yeah, just a little recap on my 25th. That was like what happened, what our plans were. But like, let's do an emotional recap on my 25th. I don't know. Well, first I came to the realization that I'm halfway to 50. And that literally broke my brain. And like we all know I don't math well, but it doesn't change the fact that that completely shattered my existence because I did not math that correctly, or even like, not even correctly. I just literally didn't even think about the fact that 25 is halfway to 50. And that made me feel ancient. So that was great. But other than that, I actually feel really good about this year. I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous with the stuff that was going down last week, but I feel like everything that happened was good signs that it's going to be a good year. And I don't know why, I've just always had a feeling that I was going to love 25. Like I'm not afraid of being 25, which I feel like a lot of people like this is like an age that they're like, ah. But like I don't feel that way. Well, I didn't, at least until somebody said it's halfway to 50. I won't lie, that kind of shook my brain a little, but we're processing. But yeah, so it was just emotionally like a lot, but in a good way. And also like, I don't know, I was just like very present and aware of the fact that like all of my favorite people continuously every year, like I'm one of like not all of my friends do big birthday stuff. Like we always do something, but like they don't always have like a big party or something, but like I have a party every year. And it's just like, I don't know, every year it's just crazy that like I still have so many close friends that like celebrate my birthday with me every year. And like, I don't know, everyone was just like so lovely and everything went well. Nobody was like arguing. Like we just had so much fun. So yeah, I don't know. It was just very wholesome, very great. Tony was being a literal angel the entire weekend. And yeah, it was just nice. I felt special. And I feel like on your birthday, that's all you can really ask for. So yeah, it was good. Okay, let's start the episode now that I said I wasn't going to do a long intro, but we're 5 minutes in. So what's new? Okay, so in honor of turning 25 and starting season 2, which I've decided every season will now start on my birthday, like the week of my birthday, will always be the next season. And don't forget, if you didn't already look, we did get a new cover art, so definitely check that out. But if you're listening to this episode, you probably already saw it. But in case you missed it, it's brand new. But in honor of 25 years, I wanted to do like things I've learned in 25 years or like 25 thoughts on being 25 kind of thing. So that's what I'm working on right now. So we can go ahead and start the episode. I'm just going to go one at a time, and I'm giving you a disclaimer. I was drunk in a hammock at camp when I wrote all of these out, and I wrote like pages of like random thoughts that came to my brain. And then these are the 25 that I like narrowed it down to. But honestly, I feel like we're going to end up having a few bonus points at the end because I just feel like I had more than 25. Okay. First, you can't control what somebody does, only how you let it affect you. I feel like this is one of those things that like everybody knows this. Like adults are always saying that to you. Like you see it on social media everywhere. But I feel like until you mentally get to the place like where you're confident enough in yourself, happy with your life, like content, I feel like until you're there, the switch doesn't really flip, even though people tell you to think like that. Like, they can tell you as much as they want, but until you get to that point, like, maturity-wise, on your own and, like, emotionally, nobody can flip that switch for you. But I feel like that is something that happened to me, like, close to 25, probably, like, 23 or 24. But I feel like that was just, like, a very positive realization that I had this year and last year. Okay, 2 is my favorite. I'm not going to pick favorites, but if I was, it might be 2. But female friendships fuel your soul. And I feel like I've always been decent at like having friends and having a boyfriend because I've like always had a boyfriend. So I feel like I'm like okay at that, but also I think naturally it's so easy to just like be like, I'm happy, I'm in a place where like I'm with the person I want to be with. Like, why would I go outside of that bubble? But like I just went on a bachelorette trip, and like I did know, well, obviously I knew the bride, and then I knew her sister and one of the other bridesmaids, but then like I didn't really know the 3 that I stayed with. So like obviously I was a little nervous going in, but like it was honestly so refreshing to like be with other like feminine adult, like female energy, like adult women. There was just something like really lovely about it. And I feel like it was a lot of fun. And it was like honestly kind of refreshing to like, I don't know, like let their feminine energy fuel yours, I guess, if that makes sense. Because like obviously I love Tony and like everybody loves being with their boyfriend or their husband. But I just feel like it's really common now that people kind of stop valuing their friendships. And I just feel like I've always been good at keeping my friends, even if I'm in a relationship. And I feel like the older I get, the more I realize like how grateful I really am to have those friendships because they're just like so pure and like unconditional. And it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like women are just great. And being around them gives you like a different kind of energy. Oh my God. This one is just funny because I always say this because I'm like I'm just a homebody. I don't like to go to things. So it doesn't even have to be a party. It could be literally anything. But like if something happens or like the vibes are off, like I'm so big on the vibe of a place being good. And if it's off, it's off. So my rule for if a vibe is off, if a like quick meditation in the bathroom or a rip can't fix it, the night is over. Just go home. It's over. And like that's probably not for everybody, but like that's just something that I've learned about myself as I've gotten older. If the vibes are off, I'm just going to go home. I don't want to be anywhere enough other than my house to be there and not be happy. So that's just me. 4. When you know, you fucking know. And if you have to ask what I mean, just leave him. And I just want you to know I'm reading these word for word. And remember, I was blasted in a hammock. So, but I feel like that one goes without saying. If you have to ask, how do you know you don't know yet? I really don't think you do. Maybe that's a controversial opinion, but I had to ask, how do you know, about every single person but Tony? And I haven't had to ask anybody how I know because I know and they know and I can tell that they know and I can tell that we all know. So, number 5, being cheated on is not a reflection of you. It's always their loss if they throw away what you have. And to be honest, like, I don't even think of it in the way that, like maybe we aren't perfect together. Well, obviously we aren't. If you cheated on me, we're not perfect together. But I feel like it's less about, like, what they threw away in the sense that, like, because, like, if you weren't good together and you should be breaking up anyways, I can understand why people are kind of like, it's not really their loss if they didn't want it. But I feel like it's their loss in the sense of, like, the growth. Like, I feel like you learn so much from every relationship. And, like, they lost an opportunity to end on good terms. Like, to grow emotionally, to be respectful of your feelings, to be respectful of their own feelings. Because obviously if they're cheating on you, like, when they have a girlfriend, their feelings are all over the freaking place. So, I don't know. I just feel like it's really easy to blame yourself and be like, what could I have done better? But, like, it's not your responsibility to guess what somebody else needs and, like, figure out how to, like, make them happy. If they weren't happy and they weren't voicing that to you, that is not your fault. This one actually I saw on like it wasn't a podcast. I think it was like some kind of talk show that Michelle Obama was on, but she was just talking about how people get divorced like early on in life because like they have like 1 or 2 bad years. But she was basically saying that like they've been married 40 years and they probably had like 9 years in that 40 that were bad, but then they had like 31 of them that were so good that they don't even really think about the bad ones. And I don't know. Obviously, get divorced if you want, do like, whatever it is. But I just feel like I think about that a lot now. Like when things are like bad, I don't know, it just stuck with me is really the only reason I put it on here, is that I just feel like it was a really good message to like keep in your brain. And like, I'm not saying like you can have a bad year and that doesn't mean you're going to have 30 good ones. If your gut feeling is that you're not with the right person, then leave. But like, if you really do think you're with the right person, but like something's going on with their job or you just had a baby and things are stressful and like whatever it is, I just feel like if you actually think you're with the right person, I agree with the concept that like 5 bad years versus 30 good ones is well worth it. Number 7, be with people that make you feel alive. And I feel like, honestly, if you don't get this, then you don't have the right people in your life. Because I don't know, I just feel like when I'm with any of my like friends or family, like all the like the people I'm closest to, I just feel like energized from being around their existence. So, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I didn't realize until I got older, like, the importance of, like, real friends that, like, you belly laugh with. And, like, that at the end of it, you're just like, wow, like, I just feel great. Like, I don't know. I feel like I just regularly think after, like, that I feel alive. So, that's how I put it. Okay, number 8, the way you talk about yourself, to yourself especially, matters, like, so much. Because I feel like if you're constantly putting yourself down, like, the world sucks enough. If the world's putting you down and you're being the biggest bully to yourself in your own head, you literally don't stand a chance. Like, the world is going to shit on your life enough. You don't have to shit on it also. People don't deserve more access to you. We've done like a whole episode about this, so I'm not going to go into it like too deeply. But you know my stance on that if you've listened to past episodes. If you are willing to give them more or can give them more, great. But if like you only want them to have so much access to like what's going on in your life, your emotional health, like all those things, and they're pressuring you to like let them in more, like you don't have to feel bad for like even if they want to be your everyday best friend, they see you every day kind of person, and you're not on that level, that doesn't mean you can't be friends. But like you don't have to force something or like force yourself to put your mental health and what you need second, to put what somebody else's expectations of you first. Okay, 10, shit talking comes directly from your own insecurities. And I don't know. We've already talked about this before, but like I have definitely been way guilty of this. And I just feel like the older I've gotten, the more I've realized, like, if you really sit down and like think like, why did I think that or say that? It really does come back to like your own personal insecurities. And I feel like that's just something I try really hard now to like keep in the back of my mind when I catch myself like in those situations. 11, the people who describe you as sunshine are your people. I've just always said to Tony that I like want people in my life, and like I want to be the kind of person that like, and the kind of friend that like people would describe like that. And it was really cute because I've never told my mom that. And the one time we were talking, like it was like maybe 2 months ago, and she was like saying something about me and like said that. And I literally called Tony right after and I cried. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even tell her because that's like a whole thing. But I was just like, that was so cute. 12, life is more fun when you're not worried about fitting in. I just feel like that's something that you want to know your whole life, but you really just don't know it until it just clicks and you grow up and you like find a new confidence. So yeah, I don't know. Wear the dirty Crocs and the Gat t-shirt if you want to. This one's probably just me, but number 13, the way that you feel starts with your hair. Pretty simple, self-explanatory. I feel the best when my hair is fresh and clean. If my hair's gross, like whenever my hair is like gross and I'm like, okay, I'll just throw it up, like it won't bother me and then I'll wash it later, I always regret it and I always feel gross and like uncomfy and just I always regret it and wish I would have washed my hair. So, or dry shampoo, whatever works for you. That just doesn't work for me. 14, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this like as you get older, but I'm just starting to realize that my parents are like my favorite people to like brag to and like call to tell stuff to, because I feel like my success as like an adult is a direct reflection of them. So I feel like they're like genuinely the happiest to hear like the reviews I'm getting in like the adult world. So I don't know. I've just like found a like new love for calling my parents and telling them like everything. So I feel like that's just been really good for us. Okay, 15. It's not anyone else's responsibility to pick you up off the floor at 3 a.m. You are the only person that you can count on. I feel like this one's talked about a lot through like social media. But yeah, I don't know. I used to be like deathly afraid to be alone in my own head and like not have somebody with me all the time. And I feel like now I like live to be alone. And I get like my most growth and like deep thoughts and like realizations from being alone. So yeah, I feel like just as I grew up, I realized that like at the end of the day, I'm the only person that I can for sure count on. I know I said earlier that number 2 was my favorite, but I think it might be number 16. But like they're pretty similar. Your relationship with your childhood friends will change so much, but when there's so much love there, you'll figure out your adult friendship and it'll mean everything to you. I don't want to get too deep into this because I think this is going to probably be what the next episode is about. Because I want to talk about like my best friend's wedding and like all that stuff. So that'll probably be the next episode. We'll talk about like childhood friends. But I don't know. I have just known her my entire life. Like literally since I was like 1. So like I have no memories that she doesn't know about. I have no life experiences that she didn't get a text about. Like, and I feel like towards like college, we kind of were like trying to figure out where our friendship was. And then like because it was more distant in college because I went to school out of state, she was really busy. Like we just had a lot going on. So we didn't see each other a ton. So I feel like when we were both graduated and back living like near each other, there was like a wiggle room of trying to like figure out how often we hang out. Like, what do we do now when we hang out? Like, I feel like we were just like kind of redefining our friendship as adults. And like, obviously, there's going to be moments you're nervous that like you aren't going to be able to like, I mean, I always knew we would be able to figure it out. I just like honestly could not have predicted how great we came out of it. Because I feel like our friendship is so strong and like so genuine. Like she's like family to me. So I feel like, I don't know, the thought of knowing somebody your entire life, like, and it's not like I have multiple childhood friends that I still see all the time. And like our parents still hang out. Like we're all like still a group. And there's just like something so different about knowing people that have like being around people a lot that have known you forever. But I don't know. I just could not have predicted how good of a place and how strong of like friendships I would end up with like my childhood friends now as adults. And I'm just like really grateful for that. Number 17. I do not want to climb the fucking corporate ladder. I just want to make enough money to live life and like I want to be able to actually live it. And I'm just starting to realize that I thought work was everything to me. And like I still care about my job and I'm still good at what I do and like passionate about what I do. But I'm having the realization that like work is not my end all be all and it will never be something that fills my cup up on its own. And I feel like that's just something so important that like people need to talk about, that you are still a successful adult, even if you don't like a 9 to 5. Number 18, your gut choice is always the best choice. We kind of already talked about that earlier, but I just feel like the older I've gotten and the more like secure and like myself that I've gotten, the more I've just been able to listen to my gut. And if I think something, I don't even question it anymore. I'm just like, my gut is telling me this is a bad idea, so I'm not doing it. Number 19 is gonna make me cry, but my family is everything. And I don't know, I just feel like as I've gotten older, I've realized that I just have like a whole ass unit of people behind me. And I feel like I will never ever take that for granted again. Like everyone takes it for granted as a kid, but I feel like now that I'm an adult, I cannot even imagine taking that for granted ever again. And I feel like that has to do with the childhood friend thing too. Like I just have so many like good people, family and friends. And not even all of them like are people I've known forever. Like my college friends are some of the best people I've ever met. So I just feel like in general, the whole like it takes a village thing, I feel very, very content at 25 with the village of people around me. And I'm not going to cry, but I just didn't think. I've just had a lot of like things with friends and like a lot of not good experiences. And like I'm not going to act like some of them weren't my fault, but they weren't all my fault either. So I just feel like to be 25 and be at such a place where I really genuinely am so happy and content with everybody in my life, I just feel good about that. Number 20 is kind of what we were just saying, but drama isn't fun or cute. And peace of mind and minding your own business is the healthiest thing you can do. And it's honestly life-changing to stop giving a crap what everybody else is up to. Like, I like to, like, catch up with my friends and, like, people that I still care about that I don't see a lot. But, like, other than that, I don't care who got divorced or who, like, if you're not my friend, like, I don't care who's broke off their engagement, who's now dating guy. Like, I just don't care. Whatever random, like, drama is happening in these people's lives that I don't talk to anymore, I'm like, I don't have time for this. Number 21 is that I just hope I never stop romanticizing my life. I feel like I'm just one of those people, like, going to the grocery store for me is like a Hallmark movie, and it might be kind of annoying and, like, make no sense to other people, but I feel like since I started living life that way, I have, like, a new joy for, like, existing. Number 22, when you come out of a depression, you just have, like, a new sense of appreciation for every little detail in life. And, like, maybe that's just me, but I'm sure it's not. But, like, I just feel like every time I have, like, a depressive episode or, like, a few months where I'm doing really bad, when I finally, like, you know, readjust my medicine or, like, whatever it is, and I feel, like, good again, I feel like every time I grow so much as a person and I come out of it with such a better mindset and so much more grateful for, like, the days that I don't even, like, that I just feel like even, like, neutral. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to feel alive and happy every day, but, like, when you go through a time where you feel less than great always for months, it makes you appreciate even just feeling content and neutral, even if you don't feel alive that day because all you did was go to work and make dinner. Like, the fact that I just feel okay is enough for me. Number 23, nature is good for the soul. Goes without saying. It's just something I feel like I was always outside in nature, like doing stuff as a kid. And I kind of stopped doing that in high school and college. And then I feel like I'm just starting to, like, really appreciate going camping and, like, hiking and walking outside. And I'm just, like, a temperature sensitive bitch. And I feel like that's the only reason that I hate outside is that I'm, like, always so overheated. But, like, sometimes you just gotta live. Number 24, I love a Sagittarius. I know so many of them, and all of them are my favorite people. Like, I just have so many, like, friends or people that I know or have come across that are Sagittariuses, and I just think I really like them. I don't even know, like, if Leos and Sagittariuses are, like, compatible as, like, friends or anything, but, like, I just like them. Number 25, we are going to do 2 bonuses, but number 25 is my mom and dad are becoming my besties. And At the same time, though, like, I'm gonna add another one in with this. They're becoming my besties, but I've also become painfully aware of how much older they are. And, like, I could have another 30 years with them, but I also could have, like, another 5. And I feel like I'm just starting to realize so much that I only have so much life to live with them. And I don't know, it just makes me really sad because I feel like we're, like, really close. And like I said, I just can't even imagine. I mean, nobody can imagine a world without their parents, but it's just crazy. Okay, let's do 2 bonuses. Okay, I put some memories feel like magic, and those are core memories that shape who you become. If you know me, you know I love Inside Out, and I love a good core memory reference. So, I don't know. I just feel like I've really started to, like, in life be like that's a core memory, and, like, take a second after to, like, reflect on it and remember and realize, like, that those don't happen every day. So yeah. And I don't know, it's just fun, like, when we talk about stuff, I'm always like, oh, that was a core memory. And, like, me and Tunny, like, have a lot of banter about core memories. So I don't know. Oh my God, the last one I told you I was all blowed out in the freaking hammock, but I put my cat occasionally reveals himself to me, and I know if he wanted to, he could look at me and say, hey, bitch. And I feel strongly about that. I feel like he understands me and he knows what I'm saying, and he occasionally, like, slips up or, like, does it for funsies. But, like, he occasionally does stuff where I'm like, we're the same. Like, you get it, right? Just food for thought. But I think that cat can understand everything I'm saying. Also, really, really, really side note, we could talk about this in a different episode, but, like, the whole familiar thing, I think Binks is my familiar, but we'll get into that at a later date. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to wrap this up because I don't want it to be too long, but I'm super happy to be back, super excited to have more, like, deep conversations about whatever I want to talk about and not just limited to talking about my 20s. So yeah, lots of new things coming forward. I hope you really enjoyed the new cover art. And if not, that sucks because she's going to be here for a year. So, yeah, you should definitely follow the Nobody Asked Pod _ on Instagram and TikTok so you don't miss anything because I have lots of stuff coming. But yeah, I will keep this short and sweet. I'm happy to be back, and I will see you bitches next Thursday. Bye.